Welcome to Expressions, and this is your #1 youth current affairs show. Your host. As you can see, I am flying solo, but the one thing that remains the same on the show is that we continue to have conversations that will empower you, Mundomosha. Are artisan skills the solution to the high unemployment rate in the country? That is the big question on the show. Do partake. Our first stop takes us to Soweto, where we meet dynamic young people who are making things happen despite the fact Oguti they don't have jobs, so they've decided to make do with what they have. Let's have a look at their story. Okay, Mbugelo Expressions, the sad news is that the unemployment rate Mzansi by a record 32.5%, bringing the number to about 7.2 million Yabantu that were not employed by the second quarter of 2020. Well, on the other hand, you have young people who are saying they will not let those statistics get to them because they will be creating job opportunities for themselves. We're meeting Ukuketso, we're meeting Ulebu, as well as Ukatleho, who speak to us about their journey in entrepreneurship.
I graduated in 2009. We applied for internships since I studied journalism and media studies. So it ended up being a case of I could take just anything just to survive. So I've worked different jobs. I've worked in retail. I did everything up until I decided that, this is just not working. I am not going to wait for the government to do anything for us, for me or whatever. So I just started my business in 2018.
Wow, it smells so great in your kitchen. What are you making? Livers?
I'm actually making, it's a mixture of liver and heart.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I always knew that I wanted to work with people, but I did not know what I wanted to do. I had a passion for journalism. I wanted to be a news reader. I know, right? But because that did not pan out, I had to go to plan B. So, and the next thing, you have to, as a person, find your niche. Just try to find what are you good at.
I used to be employed, but my contract ended. Applying on its own is a full-time job, guys. But I guess having the support and the entrepreneurial skills that Abu Kutwam, Mrs. Wam Banazo is a plus. Because they actually pushed me into my nail business.
There are also some that are just like you guys as well, graduates who are unemployed. How do we encourage them to see that light at the end of the tunnel like you guys decided to?
School is very important. Let's start there. There was definitely go to school. Gives them a better chance at life. You can but don't just sit there and expect things to happen. Nobody owes you anything in life.
Yo, she's a lento. Fryer, as always.
Matriculated in 2015.
Yeah.
And then after 2015, I went on to doing a short course in procurement at UNISA. Due to financial strains, we didn't actually follow through with the program itself. Being a person who doesn't want to sit and expect things to be given to him, I started selling chips and a bit of rations at home. And then I started to expand the business a bit by adding some more things onto the menu.
But a secret something spice.
What's that secret? It's a secret.
Yeah, if I told you, I had to kill you.
So umbuzo omkhulu ku-Expressions namhlanje, we are asking if are artisan skills a solution to the high unemployment rate?
The community that I live in, I meet a whole lot of people who work with hands. But they don't make money every day, that's the thing. But they make a whole lot of money. Because working with your hands is actually, you don't actually go and buy something. You actually provide a skill or a service, you see. So you don't need to stock anything. So you're actually making profit from what, from whatever you already know, from the knowledge that you gained on welding, on bricklaying, on anything that you do. You are, yes.
Well, you heard it, Bugelewe Expressions. What is really encouraging is to really have more conversations, Nolusha, who are saying, look, we're not sitting and waiting for things to happen. We are going to make things happen for ourselves. They've decided to start a business. We're on the quest to find out whether our artisan skills the real solution to the high unemployment rate. Ilushola la eMzansi. We're on the quest namhlanje to find out whether is the artisan sector, a greater solution to the unemployment problem in South Africa. We're now joined by Muntomusha now, Ulungile Wagajele, who's a second-year welding student. Kunjan?
Ngiyaphila unjani baba?
Sikwamukele Expressions.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's great to have you on the show. Now, Lungile, sikhuluma ngomkhakha lo ubona. Please tell us about what you are doing in your second year.
Okay, I'm doing welding. Yes, here inside Sia Welder we've got e-workshop, but we start in a theory and then we move to e-workshop before you go to a workplace. Yes, which is where we do our practicals. We've got a problem with workplaces which are companies. So because COVID affect us, we stopped. But we are busy in classes like continuing with our files.
Angesikhulumeke wena uvela kahle kahle kwanongoma, but you found yourself eGauteng eKuruleni to come and study welding. Kanjani? Are there no schools on the other side, or it's just a decision?
We came here as a group. So Ulebia told us about this. But here there are some opportunities. Johannesburg, like we wrote some tests before we come here, then we got selected, and then like we end up being here. There are schools there, but it's labor who chooses the thing for us. We were many, but we end up being like elected. Maybe it was like 18 of us from KZN.
There are some of young people who are more skilled and gifted academically. Sengisho ngokuthi bona bahlala phansi, theory into zabo, ngencwadi, ngamaphepha. Abanye bethu are gifted ngokwenza ngezandla, right?
Yeah.
Is that a gift that you've always had?
I mean, I didn't know anything about welding because I was home unemployed doing nothing. Like I got this opportunity, I grabbed it with my two hands. Then I end up like enjoying. And then I see that there are some opportunities and a lot of opportunities. Everywhere we need jewelries, do you understand? So like e-welding should take part on that. I think the most important about this thing, ukuthi abantu besifazane babukelwa phansi when it comes to the welding. Yes, babukelwa phansi when it comes to the welding. Imisebenzi yezandla actually. Do you understand? So as abantu besifazane, we want to show other women. Let us take initiative as women and do the thing. We are 50-50 now. There is no job like it's for men, it's for women. The job is all of us.
Yeah,
so I think, I think e-welding right to everybody. Wonke umuntu uyafit.
Okay, awungitshele ngento oyithanda kakhulu nge-welding.
Oh, ukuba se-workshop, to be in the workshop. I enjoy to be in the workshop. Like it's our theater. Nathi it's where la sihlinza khona insimbi yethu siqala phansi like siyenza, and then whenever you are doing something with love, you enjoy it and you do your best. Singabafundi baseku-Oroleni siyacela, we are struggling ngama-company. Siyacela ukuthi if kukhona ababukelayo abanama-companies e-welding, basithathe nathi so that sizokwazi ukufunda siqede. besifunda kahle kakhulu, we enjoyed everything. But because of COVID, we end up like going back home. So it's not easy to go back to the company. Siyacela kakhulu.
Well, there you have it again, Mundomusha. We continue with this very important conversation as we ask you, are the artisan skills our solution to the current unemployment problem in the country? What do you have to say? Do interact with us. Inkundla zethu zokuxhumana sikhona ku Facebook and Twitter. We're back after this. You're still watching Expressions, your #1 youth current affairs show. Now, are artisan skills the solution to the high unemployment rate in the country? What do you have to say, Mundomusha? You know what is really fascinating out of the conversations this now, namhlanje, is to hear young people talk about some of them were not really gifted, but they were more gifted to actually work with their hands. Now, that's some also extraordinary talent that we've seen out there. What do you have to say about the conversation we're having, namhlanje? Well, Ujeki gets us into some action at Kempton Park. Let's have a look.
As Expressions, we put it upon ourselves to obviously expose this particular skill to young people, because there's so much that is not known about it. And I think maybe take us through, why is this area of artisan important, especially when we're having conversations about unemployment of young people in this country?
Yeah, you're very right there. We all know that, amongst others, one of our social ills as a country is lack of employment. As Ekurhuleni artisans, we saw a gap that needed to be addressed. And that gap was definitely to address the issue of employment through skilling people and skilling them differently from what you'll see at your level of universities. You know, we have a program that talks to manual skills. We have programs that talks to mainly how best can you enhance or create jobs.
A lot of young people are not aware that this is a viable career option. Why do you think that is the case?
Most of them, those who are not very good in the classrooms, you'll find that they've got some skills. And we realize that we need to come with a model that caters for such people. I mean, you look at our education system. Our education system at most says you need to have matric, you need to have your grade 10, you know, to have access on tertiary. And that's how we came up with a model that says whether you've got a grade R, whether you've never studied, whether you've never been to a classroom, can't we look at what else can you do with your hands? And we've picked over time that people who are not very good, people who are not excellent in the classrooms, do very well in terms of skills.
Is the root of artisan a solution to the youth unemployment? I mean, what would your answer be to that particular question?
Without doubt, artisan skills, it's a solution. Over and above, and that's the model that we're working on here. To say, if we train you, you don't necessarily have to go out and go and market with your CV. If you train you today to be a carpenter, you can go out to the village and start doing our ceilings in the villages. You can start opening your own company, and instead of running around with CV, you become an employer. And I see that as the best way to curb the unemployment that we have.
And think for yourself, you're a painter, and you've got the tool in your hand, and you're doing your artwork. That is what welding is all about.
Just for the benefit of the viewers, Gochai, tell us what today's experience has been like to be at this artisan training center.
It's a good experience to receive soft skills because our economy mainly depends on soft skills for them to exist. And a lot of youth, they tend to think that soft skills are only meant for those who have not progressed in the normal mainstream of education. But for any economy, for any country to develop, it needs those soft skills. And that was a good experience for me to be receiving those soft skills. And I've made upon myself that I'll come here and study and have one qualification in the soft skills so that I can be able to encourage others who've got other degrees but are not soft skills to assist the economy moving forward.
So now I'm going to speak to Ubongani, and obviously you know him from the #2 biggest radio station in this country. And of course, you know, he's constantly entertaining you on drive time. But today, what did he learn?
Ndifunde kakhulu namhlanje apha, ndifunde ukudibanisa iintsimbi. Ngoku ndiyakwazi ukwelda ngoku. Ndifundiswe apha loo nto namhlanje. Ndibanisa iintsimbi ezimbini nantoni na ukwazi uyenza ngesandla sakho sifundiswa uba i-possible.
I mean, will you be talking to your drive time audience to tell them the expressions expose you to this, but obviously most importantly, there is this viable career option for young people out there?
No, definitely. Into esizayenza leyo betshilo nakuproducer yale show yenu mziyade ndoba into ezifana nezi we need to sizifake ebantwini bazazi. Program endizibone apha zininzi man, I think abantu abatsha bangafunda a lot bakwazi uziphilisa because bakwazi ukusebenza nakwilokishi ohlala kuyo uncedise kuloo mzi ubhatala.
Very well, welcome to Expressions, and of course he's a commentator, so we want him to commentate on what he learned today.
Thank you so much to the Expressions team for giving us this opportunity to come and actually understand what it takes to get into the craft. We were learning how to mold onto the plates, and I think that it's something that could be very undermined, and people would underestimate the type of precision that goes into it. And you know, it is very easy to do. Once you've learned it, it's like riding a bicycle. It's very easy to repeat, and it just takes time and practice like anything. And it's really fun actually. I didn't know that I would have so much fun.
Let me ambush one of my colleagues here at the SABC. She is an award-winning producer from Stories Untold on SABC2. And I just want to find out, as a woman, right, because it's a very male-dominated space, what was her experience? Is it really as easy as Usbusisa was saying?
I grew up around this. My cousins at home, they do this. My uncles, they do this. But I was never allowed to touch anything. I'm glad that now there's education for this, so that people who do it, because they're not taken seriously, so people who do it, they can be recognized and they can get jobs and good salaries.
This is also another way for you not to go out there and send out CVs. You can actually create your own jobs. You can create your own business from just learning about this. But we'll be back after this. You're watching Expressions.
So we continue with the important conversations we're having with Ndomusha namhlanje, whether we're asking you namhlanje if the artisan skill sector is the solution to the high unemployment rate in the country. What do you have to say about the conversation we're having? I was so excited that I get to challenge musicians as well as some celebrities in the media industry. Ukuthi bona ngabe ba gifted ngezandla na. See what went down. It was so much fun. So you're used to these guys that I'm sitting with entertaining you on stage, singing, making you dance. Namhlanje sibafake in overalls and they are here to join us. Prince Benzo, how did you find this? Because ngikubonile you were struggling a bit in fact. How did it go?
Because especially nagin namutho studio so bambulije more ethic beke magalor ethic why stand choke so bambuja rawa ethic awai gele you know protector ngabona so I know bile gadziba gi studio nginyaka isile tabu awa
he's used to making beats in studio. Namhlanje he's putting plugs together. All right, Kadzi. Baby girl, ngiyakubona ubustruggle kancane, but I saw you getting the hang of things. I'm like, hey, umakadzi, how did it go?
As a woman, you know, she's about the hair dryer, crazy, comes in. I mean, not a plug or room of plug, but man, I go check one, even no check one. I mean, at least now, no good that worry. I rather that for no problem. Can unas simple, then I fix right anymore. So no guys. There's no go to Mongo Challenge, which I didn't have to fix it and the mono to Manamo.
But Junior, now you're born doing your thing here. How is it going?
What experience?
Yeah. Guys, Makas is still struggling. Makas is still struggling.
So ngifunda into eningi kakhulu ngoba skip imali eningi kakhulu uthola ukuthi umuntu ukufiksela iplug ukhipha 7,000. just to fix a plan. So yeah, I know it's a good experience, my brother. Ngoba mina uyazi kimi lila nasenyaweni.
Nazo.
Ngikwazi ukudlala, ngikwazi nangebreak.
This is a plug. This is a plug. How did you find it? How was your experience of yonke lento besiyenza la today?
No, this thing teaches us that these skills must be given to almost every young people here in the country. By me, it should be compulsory so that young people get skills of working with their hands so that they can make money for they have companies. The plug, we know that we call young people. I think now the only thing that is left is to lobby the government to make skill development a thing that is compulsory to everyone.
Do you think you'd recommend this experience, or would you like for young people to come and try this out in terms of experimenting with the artisan skills?
When it comes to this thing, some other learners at school, they are not good in writing and everything, but they have talent. Like me as a Makazi, I'm an artist, I sing. It doesn't mean that maybe I didn't want to be a nurse or what, but just because of this thing, I'm talented and people, they need people like me. So ndo choose muimbi, meaning or nurse muimbi. Ndingavula something kan academy about khabana bane bafuna uimba bafuka ka music, because sometimes this one about education is the key to success, but mara namsina savana degree as because of your talented you can still eat. Money is money. It doesn't mean you could do a guy. So the important part.
I'm coming to you because moves see expressions do you think artisan skills are our answer to unemployment line Mzansi?
Very, very important question, my brother. Just to answer, there's women here.
Yeah.
Simple. They don't lean to anyone. They didn't rely to anyone. These women, they're working. Babona practical, but overall, it's rare to find South African women does this. I thought na mnguchu kanya. As a football, as an analyst, we understand and football you need to be proud.
Do you think your artisan skills to begin with is the solution to the high unemployment rate in the country?
Yes, I think we are capable. Yeah. We have hands. We must bring this thing into the economy. Unemployment is not about going to school, getting a degree or being a doctor. But this one, it's a thing that is happening every day.
I can just go like too much. You just go because background they are basic sharp guy or something challenge and do stuff. Gamko, after this show, you go post on Facebook page. Because we work because do stuff or then
what's your message to young people?
There's something keep busy I'm sorry.
Yes. Artisan training center.
Yes.
Yeah, so there are moves that I really love.
Which one now?
Vantsuti.
Those are the moves. Thank you so much.
Hopefully you'll be encouraged and inspired to really, explore this as a possible career path, and hopefully this will be the solution to the high unemployment that we're seeing, especially during COVID, right, Mko?
And I think some of my greatest takeouts from Namhlanje was just hearing which is some of us are not gifted to be sitting down and doing brain work. Some of us gifted ngezandla. So my talents we just opened you up to seeing what other options you have out there.